Welcome to the myPerformance overview for fiscal year 2017. This video will provide you with details about performance appraisals this spring, including evaluation criteria, the steps of the process, and training information. But first, let's talk about why we do performance appraisals in the first place. Performance appraisals help employees and managers stay on the same page when it comes to what is expected in the position. They also create opportunities to plan ahead for what needs to be accomplished, plus allows time for discussing future career goals and corresponding development activities. myPerformance is the online appraisal tool that each campus in the system uses to conduct annual performance appraisals. It can also be used to track your performance all year round. You may be familiar with myPerformance since it has been used for a few years in parts of the university system. The link to myPerformance is located in myHR and on your campus's Human Resources website. Let's talk about the appraisal forms. An appraisal form is simply a guide for having a performance conversation. The evaluation criteria on the form varies depending on the employee group or subfunction you are in. The job you're currently in determines your subfunction. All employees will be evaluated on success factors, which is the university's competency model. If you're a union-eligible employee, your evaluation criteria will also include key responsibilities that will be pre-filled. Support task experts' evaluation criteria will include fill-in-the-blank key responsibilities. Subject matter professionals and management's criteria will include key responsibilities/performance goals. And finally, leadership's will include performance goals. Note that comments will be required for all evaluation criteria. Discussing key responsibilities in more detail first, they are the 4 to 7 main tasks that are expected in the position. Union-eligible forms will have pre-filled key responsibilities based on the job description. Support task expert forms will have 7 fill-in-the-blank key responsibilities. These should be discussed between the employee and manager and determined before the appraisal begins. If you need assistance identifying key responsibilities, there are resources available on your campus's Human Resources website. Performance goals are the results of what one does in their position. On the leadership form, you will have the option of adding up to 7 goals. As with key responsibilities, performance goals should be discussed and determined between a manager and employee before the appraisal process begins. If goals are entered in the tool before the appraisal begins, they will be entered on your form for you. Key responsibilities/performance goals section is simply a hybrid of the two sections. This section is on both the subject matter professional and management forms. It's a flexible section that can be used for all key responsibilities, all performance goals, or a combination of the two. As with the other types of sections on the form, these should be discussed between a manager and employee in advance of the appraisal process. Finally, success factors are how one goes about doing their job and are included on everyone's forms. 7 success factors have been identified for employees system-wide: accountability, collaboration, communication, customer service, diversity and inclusion, judgment, and time management. Each success factor is defined the same across all employees, but the behavioral statements for each one differ depending on your subfunction. As a reminder, there are 5 subfunctions: union eligible, support desk expert, subject matter professional, management, and leadership. Let's use accountability to look at a couple of examples. Looking at support desk expert first, an example title that would fall under this subfunction would be office support assistant. You can see the definition of accountability in blue, followed by 3 behavioral statements. These statements indicate what the accountability success factor looks like for a support task expert. This includes behaviors such as taking responsibility and ownership for tasks, meeting deadlines, and owning individual decisions. Looking at subject matter professional next, an example title for this subfunction would be academic advisor. You can see that the definition of accountability hasn't changed. However, the behavioral statements are slightly different and more tailored to what accountability would look like for someone in a subject matter professional role. These behaviors include possessing full responsibility for objectives, taking initiative to complete work, and actively communicating expectations. For your reference, all of the success factor definitions and behavioral statements are available on your campus's Human Resources website. Now that we've discussed the appraisal forms, let's discuss the steps of the appraisal process. While the evaluation criteria differ slightly based on employee group, the steps that each appraisal goes through is the same for all employees. The process kicks off with a self-appraisal, which may or may not be required depending on your department. It is suggested each employee take advantage of this opportunity to highlight his or her accomplishments, though after a certain date, the self-appraisal window will close. If your self-appraisal is not required and you do not plan on completing it, please inform myPerformance at umsystem.edu so your manager can begin writing your appraisal. Next, the supervisor writes an appraisal for each assigned employee. The next step, calibration, may or may not occur in your department. When the appraisal is submitted, your supervisor's manager will review and approve the appraisal, after which the employee and manager sit down to discuss it. Completion of this step is recorded in the myPerformance tool. After that, sign-offs occur. The employee signs off first and can also provide final comments. The appraisal then goes to the supervisor to review the employee's final comments and then to sign off, which completes the process. In reviewing the appraisal process, it's important to note that while performance appraisals may occur once a year, performance management occurs all year round. If you are in a supervisory position, you are expected to provide regular feedback that employees can act on, praise employees for what they accomplish, keep track of your employees' performance — this makes writing an appraisal much simpler — and overall, engage with your employees on a regular basis. There are lots of resources available if you would like to build your skills around performance appraisals and related topics. Training and resources are in a variety of formats, including face-to-face training, tutorials in myLearn, short YouTube videos, and written materials to help guide you. All resources and information can be found on your campus's Human Resources website. You can also email any questions to myperformance at umsystem.edu. Thank you for watching this fiscal year 2017 overview on myPerformance.